for seekers of God. Spiritual talks of Mahapurush Swami Shivananda ji. Shivananda ji, as you all know, was a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And he has given very simple methods of religious teachings. He answers lots of questions, and here today we are going to do 16th part. अब इसमें उन्होंने क्या क्या बोला है? Swami Shardanand's last illness and death. He has talked about that. His unique life. Ashwani Kumar Datta of Barisal. Sri Ramakrishna's method of initiation. Harmony of religions as taught by the Master. How he is being accepted by many as a divine incarnation, and reference to some of his Mohammedan devotees. So, all these points today Maharaj will discuss. So, the first is Belur Monastery. It's the place, और समय है September 3rd, 1927. It was only a few days ago that Swami Shardanand, who had been like a mother to the order, passed away and was united with the Master. तो हमेशा एक बात हमको याद रखनी है कि जब भी ये ऐसे महापुरुष लोग शरीर रखते हैं तो वो हमेशा भगवान के साथ मिलित हो जाते हैं. तो यहाँ पे वो कह रहे हैं वो passed away and was united with the Master. The sadhus and devotees were all overwhelmed with grief at his death. Swami Shivanand was especially so. Mahapurush ji became unusually serious when he received the news of Swami Shardanand's diseases or problems. He had great anxiety written on his face. He was restless all the time and constantly made inquiries about Swami Shardanand's illness. If anyone would approach him for initiation or in connection with other matters, he would quietly say, "Not now. I am not in a good mood because of Swami Shardanand's illness." So here we see कि because of Shardanand ji's illness, वो किसी को भी एंटरटेन नहीं कर रहे थे, जबकि वो हमेशा दीक्षा देने के लिए रेडी रहते थे, पर अभी उनका मन शांत नहीं था, तो इसीलिए वो दीक्षा देना नहीं चाह रहे थे. When he would speak, he would do so mostly about Swami Shardanand. Shortly before the cremation of Swami Shardanand's body, Mahapurush ji once softly said, Swami Shardanand was fond of bathing in the Ganga. Bathe his body in the waters of the Ganga. It was Saturday. In the afternoon, a crowd of devotees assembled in Swami Shivanand's room. Although the Swami was grief-stricken, he made inquiries about the well-being of everyone. Very soon, the conversation turned upon Swami Shardanand. Mahapurush ji said, "Alas, Swami Shardanand had visited the monastery at Belur about a week before he became ill on Saturday." तो हम देख रहे हैं उनकी तबीयत खराब होने के उनके मन इतना खराब है, उनकी तबीयत खराब है, फिर भी वो सबको एंटरटेन कर रहे हैं और उनके बारे में बात कर रहे हैं, शारदानंद जी के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. There was a meeting of the governing body of the mission the day he visited the monastery. He said to me, "See, my body is getting worse. I am afraid it will not last many days." I never thought then he would pass away so soon. He was indeed a blessed soul. The Holy Mother was unusually gracious to him. That is why he had such a glorious death. Just as throughout his life he did good to many, molding the lives of some and bringing the light of the Spirit to the others, So during the last few days of his illness, he fulfilled the desires of many devotees by giving them an opportunity to serve him. Ordinarily, he would not allow anyone to do any personal services for him. But think what service the boys rendered him when he was sick. They would not attain as much benefit by 12 years of spiritual discipline as they did by this service. So, if we give service to an enlightened soul, we get so much of spiritual power within us also. He remained in that state only to fulfill the desires of the devotees to serve him. How many from how many places came to see him and had the opportunity of serving him. He did not leave anyone disappointed. He was a great yogi. Giving up the body in samadhi, he went straight to the Master and the Holy Mother. It did not at all matter in what way the body dies. The scriptures say it does not in any way affect the inner consciousness of a knower of Brahman. Even if he passes out of the body in coma or swoons or in any other way, after the first attack of paralysis, he seemed for some days to have no external consciousness, but inwardly he was fully conscious. I went to see him only once. महापुरुष महाराज जी बता रहे हैं. I didn't go again because I couldn't stand the sight of this sickness. When Swami Akhandananda ji addressed him, saying, "Brother, brother," he opened his eyes and then again closed them. When Dr. Ghosh called him by name, he looked at him. Dr. Ghosh said, "Sharat, Swami Shardanand, would you drink some tea?" He expressed his unwillingness by shaking his head. When asked if he would have some holy water, that is Chanramrit, he showed constantly and nodded his head. The holy water was given to him and he drank it. After a brief silence, Mahapurushji continued. During the last few years of his life, Swami Shardanand especially practiced intensive meditation and spiritual discipline. After bathing in the Ganga, he would sit for meditation and not move from his seat until 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon. He would have an interval during which he would drink a cup of tea, sitting right there on his meditation seat. What discipline they did! It's amazing. He was unusually kind to his devotees. To women devotees especially, he was a haven of peace. They said he was like a mother. A little after 4 in the afternoon, they would start coming and he would give them advice untiringly until late in the evening. Later, there would be a crowd of men devotees who would stay until late at night. The door of his compassionate heart was ever open. Ah, what a wonderful life he lived! Serene, peaceful, patient, and profound. We never saw Swami Shardanand lose his temper. He had only love and compassion for all. Now that he is united with the Master and the Holy Mother, he is enjoying supreme blessedness and from that realm is constantly helping the devotees. So they go nowhere, they are still helping us. He and others like him were in Sri Ramakrishna always, but for some time, for the purpose of doing good work to the world, they embodied themselves and lived here on this earth as men. As a matter of fact, they do not exist apart from the Master. So they and Sri Ramakrishna are one. Those who think about them are actually thinking about the Master himself. Many did not have the privilege of seeing Sri Ramakrishna. Perhaps they have seen Swamiji, Swami Brahmanand, and Swami Premanand, Turyanand, or Shardanand. Perhaps they have seen some one of the inner circle of the Master's disciples and are devoted to them. This love and devotion will surely reach the Master. It was about 8 o'clock at night. Some devotees came to Swami Shivanand's room, and one of them was from Barishal. As the conversation turned on Ashwani Babu of Barishal, the Swami said, Ashwani Babu was a man of great influence in Barishal. Barishal is a place in West Bengal. You're part of the country, but I think it is in East Bengal, this Barishal, and that's why he's saying you're part of the country. We saw his father, Brajamohan Datta, visit the master. He was a sub-judge. He came to the master and begged for his blessings when he was planning to found a college. He was a fine man, a devotee. Maharaj, did the master give his blessings in secular affairs like this? About the college he's talking. So it's a secular affair. Did he give his blessings? Now the Swami is answering, of course he did. He was a man of great compassion. He would certainly give his blessings to anyone who sought them earnestly for a noble undertaking. Devotee, did the master initiate people? Swami, yes, of course he did, but in rare cases. However, his initiation was not of ordinary type, which consists in just whispering the mantra in the disciple's ear. Now we are talking about how Sri Ramakrishna used to initiate his disciples. He would rouse the spiritual consciousness of the disciple by a touch or by writing the sacred mantra on his tongue, or perhaps he would transform the disciple's mind by mere will. Being a world teacher, his ways of initiation were unusual. A world teacher gives the mantra in one's heart, and an ordinary teacher gives the mantra in one's ears. So, this is the difference. It goes right into the heart and the seed is sown. If it is only in the ears, it takes time. Sri Ramakrishna would quicken the spiritual impulse and awaken the divinity within by prescribing different forms of spiritual disciplines to different aspirants. He was not one-sided. Whatever one's path might be, he would receive help from the Master. With the passing of the days, we realize why the Master practiced various forms of spiritual discipline. All religions are true, and through all of them, people can realize God, the embodiment of truth. Here is where the harmony comes. So Sri Ramakrishna practiced so many religions because all religions are true, and through all of them, people can realize God, the embodiment of truth. He did not practice different religions in order to discover and realize the harmony of religions. His spiritual practice had a deeper meaning. That is why men belonging to different sects of Hinduism have made him their ideal. He is also the ideal of many Christians. They worship him as Jesus. And you must remember, this was not the result of somebody's preaching. Tell me, who can preach Sri Ramakrishna? Who can reveal the one who is truth itself? He was truth himself. So who can reveal it to him? The Lord says in the Gita, Him the sun cannot reveal, nor the moon, nor the fire. You would be surprised to hear that many Mohammedan men and women in these days worship him as Muhammad, the messenger of God. One year, I visited the Nilgiri Hills. The devotees there arranged for my residence in a bungalow at Kunnur. Learning that I was there, a Mohammedan doctor and his family came all the way from Mumbai to see me. After inquiring, I found that he was a famous physician of Mumbai who had been educated in England and had a very good practice. He was accompanied by his wife and also two sons who were very handsome in appearance. तो एक मुस्लिम फैमिली उनसे मिलने आई है. एक हिंदू पर्सन को मुस्लिम फैमिली, हिंदू सेंट है वो, हिंदू साधु है, उनको मिलने आए हैं. In the course of conversation, the doctor said to me, We have come to see you, but my wife is specially eager to speak to you. Saying this, he moved to the adjoining room. His wife saluted me with great devotion and disclosed many intimate things relative to her spiritual life. Since childhood, she had been a devotee of Krishna. अब आप सोचो, मुस्लिम हैं पर कृष्णा को मानती हैं. She worships Krishna as a child and occasionally has visions of him. After reading the Master's life and teachings, she had become very much devoted to him. It is her conviction that her chosen deity Krishna has been born again as Sri Ramakrishna. तो इन जो मुस्लिम लेडी आई थी उनको लगता था कि कृष्णा ही श्री रामकृष्ण है और वो मुस्लिम होके हिंदू गॉड को मानती हैं. I noticed that she had profound love and devotion for the Master. She was quite intensive in her spiritual practice, and the Master had blessed her in many ways. When taking leave of me, she knelt down and bowed to me, saying, Please bless me by touching my head with your hand. You had the blessed privilege of associating with Sri Ramakrishna, and you were blessed by him. Please touch my head with the hand that once touched Sri Ramakrishna. कितनी भक्ति है उनमें, आप सोचो कि वो इनका हाथ अपने सर पर रखवाना चाहती हैं क्योंकि उन हाथों ने श्री रामकृष्ण को छुआ है. And how she wept! I felt in my heart again and again, Glory be unto the Lord. Blessed is thy power. Who will understand thee? The hymn describes the greatness of Shiva came to me. O Lord, I do not know thy nature nor what thou art. Whatever thou art, Mahadev, my salutations to thee again and again. Actually, we have to say the same thing regarding the Master. Who will understand him? I have met several other Mohammedan devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. One I met in Kadpa. He is highly esteemed and has received the title Khan Bahadur from the British government. He belongs to the Sufi sect of Islam, but is very devoted to the Master. In Kadapa is a little ashram dedicated to Sri Ramakrishna. The Khan Bahadur, the local collector, and also a Mohammedan, and several others were responsible for founding of this ashram. तो एक मुस्लिम ने इस आश्रम को बनाया था. We stayed there for a few days. Almost every morning and evening, I would find the Khan Bahadur seated in a corner of the shrine in deep humility, intensely looking at the picture of the Master on the altar. He is convinced that the Prophet Muhammad was born as Sri Ramakrishna for the good of the world. It is beyond our comprehension how the Master is blessing people in different ways. A devotee. Maharaj, we are attached to the world. We can hardly think about him, let alone do spiritual practice. What will happen to us? महाराज बोलते हैं, My child, if you cannot perform spiritual practice, you can at least think of him and sing his glory. The world has not bound you day and night. If you cannot do even this much, how can you expect any result? In any event, one should feel drawn towards the God. Somehow or other, one should be devoted to Him. Without some longing for God, spiritual progress is impossible. As the Master used to say, so long as the child is busy with his lollipop, he is forgetful of his mother and she attends to her duties. But the moment the child tires of this lollipop, throws it away, and begins crying for the mother, she drops everything, runs to the child, and takes him in his arms. So long as you two remain attached to the lollipop of this world, you will not see him. It will be most unfortunate if you do not avail yourself of the blessed privilege of being born a human being. So you're born a human being, call upon God. That is what you have come here for. This is what he is saying. In order to bring home this idea, the Master would often sing this song. O my mind, you do not know cultivation. The field of human mind remains untilled. If only cultivated, it would have yielded a golden harvest. In the songs of this line are harvest that will not be fortified today or even a century hence. O my mind, gather the harvest to your heart's content by all means. So, we need to cultivate our mind and teach it to take the name of God. Devotee. We hardly comprehend the Master. Rather, we like association with Him, with you. If we associate with you, we associate with Him. If we have not met you for some time, we feel a yearning, that is why we come. We often think about you and long to see you. That is as much as we can do, Swami. We do not know anything other than the Master. It is He who abides within and outside. He is all in all. Remember this, that we are His children, sheltered at His feet. By thinking about us, you will be thinking of the Master. So, if you have a Guru who is realized, think about him. The Guru and God are the same. So we need to think about Sri Ramakrishna, think about God, because the whole time we are not busy with our work. So we will end our session today. Thank you so much for being with us, and do subscribe to our channel, like and share the videos. Thank you so much for being with us. Namaskar.